And good evening, and welcome to the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School for this DET Sports Media presentation of the Game of the Week, Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. This is Mitch Beck. I'm going to give you the play-by-play this evening. I'm here along with Antonio Coles, who will be providing the video and our engineering tonight. We will have a good game here tonight. It is the Kennedy Eagles, who have a record of 6-7, who are struggling within the league. They're 0-5. They rank 114th overall in the state of Connecticut. They will be taking on the home Wilby Wildcats, who are in 5th place. They have a record of 5-7. They are 1-5 in the league. They rank 100th overall in the state of Connecticut. We will give you quite a bit of information this evening. This should be really, really fun. We had an exciting overtime win for Kennedy in the JV game that just preceded us. It was a 63-60 final. Number 25, Lennox Serrano, hit 2 free throws with 9 seconds left to ace it for Kennedy. Our referee today is Don Acera, and our umpire is Frank Savakis. And we will have the play-by-play for you, and the introductions as well as the national anthem coming up for you shortly. Stick around right here on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube for this DETSportsMedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball. Mitch Beck with you, Antonio Coles with you. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the starting lineups for you now for the visiting Kennedy Eagles, who are under the direction of head coach Ryan Sullivan. They will have, here we go. We'll wait for the official announcement so that you know who's coming out. Just as you remember, we play 8-minute periods in varsity basketball in Connecticut. They are actually 6-8. I missed that. It's Kyle Brown, number 20. Number 21, Aaron Brioso. Number 24, Sincere Dozier. Number 25, Davon Zielinski. And finally, number 33, Jaquan Jones. Now for the starting Wilby Wildcats, who are under the direction of head coach Alan Piccolo.
Now for the starters of the Wilby Wildcats.
Here we go. Number 22, Raekwon James. Number 23 is Jonathan Matthias. Number 2, Calvin Hicks. Number 35 is Justin Parker. And lastly, but not least, number 11, Jeremiah Tripp. So we will have the national anthem for you, and we will get underway.
Please stand up with your hats as we honor America and all those who serve with the playing of our national anthem.
Could never get enough of our wonderful national anthem. And the two teams head back to their respective coaches, getting some last-minute instruction. And in just a moment, we will get underway with this DET Sports Media presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Kennedy, according to the latest stats that I've got, they've scored 917 points and surrendered 951. They've won 2 games in a row. And Wilby has scored 764 points and surrendered 862, and they lost their last game. Stats aren't quite as easy to get as you might hope, at least current ones anyway. Well, we do the best we can. So we're glad to have you there and us here. And we are about to get underway as Don Arcera is about to throw up the ball. Jumping for Kennedy is number 25, Davon Zielinski, and number 35, Justin Parker for Wilby, and it's controlled by Kennedy. Nice pass down low. Nice strong move to the hoop, comes up short. That's Kyle Brown. And a nice rebound. Behind the back move and a layup. And that's no good. Brown with the rebound, turning it back the other way. Going strong to the hoop and finishing is Sincere Dozier. Kicked out. Shot from the top of the foul line by Calvin Hicks is good. And we're even at 2. Antonio Brioso, or Aaron, excuse me. There's a 3-point shot from the corner. That was nothing but the bottom of the net for Davon Zielinski. Back we come. Calvin Hicks with the ball. Gets it back to the top of the point. Raekwon James with it. Pick is set and sprung. Jeremiah Tripp throws it across. Strong move to the hoop. And we have a shove. And a foul, our first foul of the game. And it's going to come to Kennedy. I think they called that on Zielinski. Yep, they did. That's his first of the game. Parker goes to the hoop, and it's no good. Rebounded by Kennedy. Jaquan Jones, who brings it all the way up. Nobody touches him, so he goes to the finger roll and misses. Back come the other way is Calvin Hicks. He goes all the way across, and he's fouled. That looks quickly like it's going to be 2-5 again. That's Davon Zielinski's second. He's going to have to go take a seat. Just a minute and a half into the game, and he's picked up 2 quick fouls. And he does check out. Lennox Serrano, who was the hero in the varsity, the JV game, checks in. Sent out to the top. Move in strongly. Jeremiah Tripp for 3. And hits nothing but the bottom of the net. And we're even at 5. Jaquan Jones now. He and Jonathan Mateus go head-to-head. Strong move to the hoop. Glass comes up short. Quickly rebound thrown up front and a strong defensive play. But coming back the other way, they're going to count the basket. And we have another foul. Kennedy quickly digging a hole for themselves. That's Serrano who's going to get his first. Actually, I'm sorry. That was called on Brioso. That's his first. And they hit the shot. And Wilby has an 8-5 lead with just under 6 to go in the first quarter. Strong move to the hoop. Hits off a leg. Recovered by Kennedy. And a strong shot that comes up a little short. And Calvin Hicks with the rebound. Now a quick steal. And a hoop for Sincere Dozier. And back pushing the tempo is Wilby, going coast to coast. Was Raekwon James, had it taken away from him. And a strong move to the hoop is short again. Matthias throws it away. Goes off of Calvin Hicks's hands. Shaquan Jones was pressuring. He missed the shot. And it's a turnover. Kyle Brown going to toss it in right in front of us. Jeremiah Tripp standing in front of him. Tossed in to Sincere Dozier. Hicks backs off. Brown throws it down low. And another miss. And then we're going to get our first foul. Serrano's going to go to the line. Calvin Hicks picks up his first foul of the game. Shaquan Jones is struggling. He's had several opportunities so far and hasn't been able to hit one of them. It's a 1-point game right now. Wilby leading by 1 with 5:07 on the clock. Free throw is excellent. And we're tied at 8. Serrano will shoot one here. This ball will be live. He shoots it perfectly right over the front of the rim and in. 9-8 for Kennedy. Jeremiah Tripp gets a little help from Hicks. Hicks gives it up to Parker. Moving the ball nicely. Raekwon James gives it up to Parker. Parker to Hicks. Hicks loses it momentarily. James goes hard to the hoop, kicks it out to Tripp for 3, and gets nothing but the bottom of the net. Nice shot. Kyle Brown now goes between the legs. Crossover dribble. And gets it back out to the point where Aaron Brioso has it. He goes hard to the hoop, goes to the back side of the rim, and hits the basket. And we're tied again. Hicks now gets the forecourt. Looks for a little help and gets it from James. James dribbling. Goes down the pike. Misses. Mateus is there. He gets a foul. And that one is going to go against Brioso. That's his second. He's going to have to take a seat. That's his second. Not even halfway through the first quarter. And already Ryan Sullivan has 2 guys in foul trouble. About to check in is John Davis. Janarius Davis, if you want to be exact, but I was told to call him John. Mateus going to shoot his second and makes it, and it's a 2-point bulge for Wilby. Going down low, nice pass down low, and Serrano puts it into the basket, and we're tied again. Raekwon James gets it to Parker, back up top. Nice moving ball around the perimeter. Baseline move by Hicks. He kicks it back out to Raekwon James. Gets it to Tripp. A long 3 for Tripp. That goes off the rim and is rebounded and quickly moved out. Brown goes right to the hoop for the layup. He misses. Then makes a good defensive play, taking it away from James. Now pass to the middle, and that's a nice move. And nope. Jaquan Jones is going to be fouled by Jeremiah Tripp. That's his first. Jones has just been snake bit so far. Had plenty of opportunities to shoot and hasn't made one. So here's his chance to get on the scoreboard. He'll shoot 2. Easily makes the first. Raekwon James takes a seat. Checking in for the first time with the bright pink sneakers is Gio Cruz. Jones misses the second. Hicks goes strong to the hoop, and he is just called for a travel as he paid the price going down the middle of the pipe. Serrano will give it into Brown, and Brown will set up the Kennedy offense with a 1-point lead. That ball is picked off. Tripp goes down the middle. His layup is short, gets his own rebound, looks for help. Moved nicely to Mateus. Hicks has it. He pulls up for a three and hits. And the back and forth continues. Brown pulls it up. Sincere Dozier. Jones back out to Brown, back out to Jones. He thinks three and shoots. That's missed well off the boards. And back comes Wilby. Tripp and Hicks play a little catch. There's a three. And there's nothing but the bottom of the net for Gio Cruz. And Wilby takes its biggest lead of the game at 5 points. Jones goes behind the back, tries the finger roll, no good. Mateus gets it up to Tripp. Swung quickly to Cruz. He's feeling three again, and it goes off the rim. Back this way we go. Brown going hard to the rim. Gets it to jump off the rim. Rebounded strong. Another turnover. And a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Wilby. Parker is going to go take a seat for the home team. Checking in for the first time is Deshaun Wilson. As Coach Piccolo goes to his bench. Works some of that rotation. There's a three. No good. Mateus all over the boards. Cruz feeling another three. That one goes off the back of the rim and rebounded quickly, picked off by Hicks. He goes to the rim, gives it up, and the shot's missed. Mateus is there first. He looks for help and finds it from Tripp. Tripp comes to the top of the key, kicks it out to Hicks. Hicks slides a little bit, a nice backhanded pass to Tripp. His three-pointer is no good, and it looks like it is going to stay with Wilby. It'll go off of Serrano. Coming into the game is Gavin Todd. Taking a seat is Kyle Brown. Hicks goes and takes a seat. Andre Urena comes in for the first time in the game. Gio Cruz kicks it up top. Jeremiah Tripp, is a three. It's no good. We have a call, and the ball will go back the other way. I didn't catch who that foul was on. I'll have to double check. I don't see John Carlos Rivera, but that's so I think they called it on, but he's not there, so I think the call was actually Wilson. We have less than 30 seconds to go now. There's Cruz feeling three again. There's a hard push at the rim. That was Wilson, and back coming the other way. And the layup is no good. John Davis went hard to the net, and it was no good. 19 seconds left. It's a 5-point game. Andreas Urena takes a half court with 13 seconds to go. Going to set up for the last shot. Tripp with 7 seconds to go. What's he doing? 5 seconds. Goes hard to the hoop. Throws off the glass, and that's no good. And the first quarter comes to a close with the home Wilby Wildcats leading the visiting Kennedy Eagles 19-14. Exciting first quarter of basketball here for you. on this DETSportsMedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball that you can see exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck with you here in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School, along with Antonio Coles, who's providing the video and all of our engineering tonight. In the division, currently Wilby sits in 5th place, and the Eagles are in 6th. Lots of back and forth action that quarter. A lot of shots missed. Wasn't for lack of opportunities, that's for sure. Both teams with ample chances and a lot of rushed shots. And I think that's what both coaches are probably telling the guys is to take their time. They do, they'll start pouring some baskets into the back of their net. So John Davis is going to start it off for the Eagles. He inbounds to Dozier. Dozier goes between the legs, looks for help and finds it. Kicked outside. Gavin Todd, he's covered. Gives it up to Dozier. Dozier goes behind the back, throws up a shot at the rim, gets the rim, and a nice job keeping it alive by Serrano. Jones is fouled. That's going to be on Wilson, I think. Yep, that's Wilson. That's his second. And Jones makes the first. Wilson checks out of the game for the Wildcats. Checking back in is Jonathan Matthias. Here comes Jones' second shot. Straightens out the net by putting the ball right through the hoop. 19-16 as we start the second quarter. Jeremiah Tripp looks to get something going. Gio Cruz gives it up to Hicks. Hicks kicks it out to Cruz. Cruz is thinking three again, and he comes up short. And Jones had to go off his hands and out of bounds. It'll stay with Wilby. 7:16 up on the clock, remaining in the first half. Tripp smacks the ball, signaling the beginning of the play. Jones gets a hand on the inbound. Knocks it all the way to the wall. Jeremiah Tripp goes to go pick it up. Flings it to Don Arcera. Tripp has it now. Cruz up top to Hicks into the corner. Tripp is feeling three and buries it. Largest lead of the game for Wilby, 6 points. Jones has it, looks for some help and finds it. Todd took steps. He forgot to dribble it. Coming back into the game now is Kyle Brown. And after taking that travel, Gavin Todd goes and sits down. Coach Ryan Sullivan not happy about that. Cruz. That's Urena. Giving it up to Tripp. Tripp goes across the top, and a nice play to keep it in was Calvin Hicks. Tripp gets it back, crosses over. Kicked outside wide, down low to Matthias. He makes a strong move and kicks it out for a three. And a miss. Matthias gets a rebound, and it's punched out wide again. Gio Cruz. And a quick rebound. Dozier now. He goes off the glass and gets it. 22-18 with 6:04 on the big clock. Urena looks to get some help. Gets it from Hicks. Hicks goes down the middle. Goes up and over and is taken away. Mike Kennedy. Here comes Jones. Throws it hard at the hoop, off the glass and in. And just like that, it's a 2-point game. Urena Gets it to Hicks. Kennedy making some switches defensively. Urena goes up off the glass, doesn't get the roll, and Lennox Serrano has it. Gives it up to Jones. Jones makes a couple of moves, goes to the glass, and ties it up. 22 each with 5:17 to go. Alan Piccolo wants to see the momentum stop and calls timeout. Both teams have 4 fouls here in the first half. David Zielinski we haven't seen for quite some while when he picked up 2 fouls in the first minute and a half of the game. Aaron Brioso also has 2 fouls. Over on the Wilby side, Deshaun Wilson has 2. Jeremiah Tripp and Calvin Hicks each have 1. It's Hicks, Raekwon James, Jeremiah Tripp, Parker, and Matthias, the original starting 5. For Kennedy, it's Brown, Sincere Dozier, John Davis, Lennox Serrano. Who am I missing? I think I said Kyle Brown. Oh, and Jaquan Jones. How could I miss that? Raekwon James, nice moves by Hicks. Kicks it out to Tripp for 3. It. Dozier gets it to Jones. He goes hard, gets bumped, and draws the foul. I think that'll be the second. It is. It's the second on Jeremiah Tripp. Will Piccolo take his best player out of the lineup? We don't know. We'll see. And Jones hits the first, completing the comeback for Kennedy. They turn it from a 6-point deficit to a 1-point plus off the rebound from Parker. Hicks up to James. James makes a strong move. That should be a walk, but they're going to call a block. They're going to call that on Kyle Brown. That'll be his first. Team's 5th. Both teams have 5. Hicks for Wilby. Jeremiah Tripp is open. He pulls up for 3 and buries it. And they've come from a 6-point deficit to a 2-point lead. And we'll have a foul. That's going to go on Hicks. That's his second. Checking in for for Wilby is Luis Rodriguez. Tripp goes and takes a seat, as we said. He's their best player, and he's got 2 fouls. Don't want to get that third. Dozier dumps it in low. Good play by Hicks. Nice spin move, but it's called for a travel, and that basket will be no good. Wilby leads by 2 with 4:25 to go in the first half. Mitch Beck with you here tonight. Antonio Coles providing you all the video and engineering tonight. Raekwon James goes to the hoop. And Serrano with a smart move. Dozier with the high dribble. Gets it to the top of the key for the shot. Banking it off the glass is John Davis. And we're tied with exactly 4 minutes to go. Strong move to the hoop. That comes up short. Jones loses it to Matthias, and he puts it away. Dozier now. He looks to go to the baseline, throws it against the glass, and Parker and Serrano tie up. Possession arrow was favoring Kennedy. Hicks takes a seat. Coming in now is Gio Cruz again. Get his second run. Oh, no, they corrected it because the possession arrow was favoring Wilby. I was looking at it. I thought they had just flipped it, but apparently not. So James gives it up. Cruz back to James. There's the shot that's blocked and recovered by Kennedy. That was Luis Rodriguez's shot was blocked. Dozier goes to throw it into the middle. Picked up off the glass, and it doesn't go. Not something you expect on John Davis's shot. Kicked out to Cruz. He shoots for three. That's his spot. He buries it. And Wilby back up by 5. There's a long three that's missed by Dozier. Raekwon James comes with some speed. Dishes low. And the shot will count. Matthias gets the bucket. I think that's going to be on Dozier. It is. That's his first. Seven-point lead right now is the largest of the game. And it's 7 points, the largest of the game for Wilby. Playing a good game here in the first half. Dozier with it. Makes a couple of moves and gives it up to Jones. Hesitates for a moment, throws it at the glass, and we have yet another foul. They're in the penalty. Gio Cruz gets his first, and these will all be 1 and 1. I think this one will be 2 fouls, 2 shots, because he was in the act of shooting. Oh, ball had so much English on it, it went flying out. 2:28 is up on the big clock in the first half. Jones shoots his second, and that one goes in and out. Serrano came close to getting a foul for coming over the back. Cruz is feeling 3 again, and it's an air ball this time. Jones coming with some speed. High dribble, goes off the glass, doesn't work, gets his own rebound, throws it up again. And it's Matthias who gives it to Cruz. And they're going to call a foul. And it's going to go on Kyle Brown. Both teams are in the penalty now. That's Brown's second. Brown, Zielinski, and Brioso all have 2 fouls. He goes and takes a seat. Checking back in is Gavin Todd. Shots missed. Serrano with a rebound. Gives it to Dozier. And that could have been a foul, but it's not called that way. Parker smacked the ball away. I don't know how Dozier got that far, but coming is Parker. Gives it up to Gio Cruz. The layup is good. And it's a 9-point difference. Getting a little flexibility on those traveling calls. And a turnover. Davis gives it up. Urina's checking in. And Jonathan Tripp will take a seat with 1:30 in the first half and a 9-point lead for the home Wilby Wildcats. Gio Cruz gives it up to Urina. Urina goes between the legs and gives it up to Raekwon James. He pulls up for 3 and buries it. Absolutely buries it. Makes it a 12-point game. And another giveaway. Jones throws it up to Cruz. He goes up for the layup, and it's in. 14 points with 1 minute to go. And we get a whistle. That'll go on Jonathan Dave. Oh, excuse me. Who are they calling? That's calling That's on number 35. That's Justin Parker. That's his first foul. During the bonus, they'll shoot 1 and 1. And it comes out. John Carlos Rivera has checked into the game. He got the rebound. Raekwon James working on Dozier. Urena now working on Jones. Gets by him, goes to the hoop, comes up short, and Dozier with the rebound with 30 seconds to go in the first. Jones goes hard to the hoop, and he's fouled. 31.9 on the clock. That's John Carlos Rivera picking up his first. 31.9 on the clock. Jones now shoots, hits the first. It's now a 13-point lead. Taking a seat is Andre Urena. And Jones hits a second. Into the game is Luis Rodriguez again with 30 seconds to go and a 12-point margin. James working Dozier. Tossed out to the corner and back up top. 14 seconds to go in the first half. Raekwon James and Dozier, and that's a blocking foul. That'll go on number 15, John Carlos Rivera. That's his second. Checking into the game is number 31, Ethan Veras, with 8.2 to go. Serrano will throw it in. He has Sincere Dozier in the backcourt. That's who he gives it to, with 7 and counting. Working the baseline is Jones. He gets the bucket. And they'll call it as Jones as a push-off. So with 3 seconds left, that's the first on Jones. And with 3 seconds, a turnover by Raekwon James. And with 0.8 to go, Kennedy will get a chance. Alan Piccolo showing how he wants hands up. Ryan Sullivan looking for an explanation. Here comes the inbound. Todd throws it in. Tossed out and in! Wow! Jaquan Jones with 0.8 on the clock hits a 3. Wow. I don't have anything for that. But what a shot from half court. Buries it. And we will be back. What a first half. Going into halftime here, the Wilby Wildcats leading the visiting Kennedy Eagles 39-30. Stick around for the second half of this exciting basketball game, this DETSportsmedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Stick around. Welcome back to the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium. It's the halftime report here on this DETSportsmedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16. And, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck here with you along with Antonio Coles, bringing you a terrific game, the Wilby Wildcats and the Kennedy Eagles. Here are your first half stats for the visiting Eagles. Kyle Brown has 2 fouls. Daven Zielinski has 2 fouls and 3 points. Sincere Dozier picked up a foul and 6 points. Jaquan Jones has one foul, a buzzer beater as part of his 13 points in the first half. Aaron Brioso has 2 fouls and 2 points. John Davis has 2 points. And Lennox Serrano has 4 points. For the home Wildcats, Calvin Hicks has 2 fouls and 5 points. Jeremiah Tripp has 2 fouls and 12 points. Gio Cruz has a foul. He has 10 points. Deshaun Wilson has 2 fouls. Jean Carlos Rivera also has 2 fouls. Raekwon James has 3 points. Jonathan Matthias has 6. And Justin Parker has 1 foul and 3 points. Don Acera is our referee. Frank Savakis is our umpire. The two teams getting ready to play the second half, collecting the balls on the various carts. Out comes Ryan Sullivan, the head coach of the Eagles. He will address his team. And Alan Piccolo will address his Wildcats. And we will have basketball action for you momentarily. So excited to have you here. Tuesday night basketball in Waterbury. Doesn't get much better than that. Wildcats have been Mets at home with a 2-3 record. They've been 3-4 on the road. They want to get back to 500 here in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the George Torado court. It's Tripp, Parker, James, Hicks, and Matthias, the original starting 5. For Kennedy, it's Brioso, Dozier, Brown, Jones, and number 25, Daven Zielinski. Jones goes to the hoop and starts things off with a quick bucket, making it a 7-point difference. Hicks goes baseline, looks for some help and turns it over. Quick pass up to Dozier, and he buries it. Brioso with an excellent feed after picking off the ball. And it's just 5 points. Raekwon James gives it up to Hicks. Hicks almost threw it away. Tripp was able to keep it in. Matthias has some trouble and gets it back out to the top to Hicks. Hicks goes between the legs, gives it up to Tripp. He shoots a 3 and gets the rim. And Jones gets the rebound. Parker putting on the pressure. And Jones looks to set things up, gives it up to Dozier, who's up top. He set up the offense. Jones sets off a pick and roll. That could have been a walk and no call. And he gets the bucket to make it a 3-point game. That should have been a travel. I agree with Alan Piccolo, who was calling for that. James now kicks it in the corner to Tripp. Tripp goes across the top to Matthias. He pulls up for a 3, hits both rims, and winds up in Jones's hand. And Dozier has an opportunity to possibly tie this one up. They've been down by as many as 14. Going to the hoop is Dozier. And it's 39-38. And Alan Piccolo will call timeout and try and regroup. Kennedy has erased 8 of the 9-point deficit that they started the quarter with. And they've come from 14 back to 1. Now you're seeing why Wilby has struggled. Played so well for such a large portion of the game and have just hit a rut over the last few minutes, both at the end of the first half and now here to start the second. In case you missed it, to start before we started our game, it was the JV game, and it was a very exciting overtime win for Kennedy on 2 late free throws by Lennox Serrano, who's playing in this one. was a 63-60 win for the visitors. Right now, the home Wildcats are leading by 1 after leading by as many as 14. Play resumes. James gives it to Tripp and back. James gets the ball into the forecourt and gives it up to Hicks. Hicks loses his footing but is able to keep possession. Kicks it out wide. There's a three. Parker misses the rim. Off the rim, I should say. And Jones gets bumped. Comes with speed. Matthias tried to buy the charge, but refs weren't buying it. James, no basket. They're going to call a foul. If it's on Brioso, which it is, that's his third of the game, and he might have to go take a seat again. Doesn't look like Sullivan is going to go to his bench yet. Parker recovers. James pulls up for a three. Gets the front of the rim. Jones lets it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover. Kennedy now leads by 1, 40-39. After trailing by 14, they now lead by 1. Dozier sends it across. Nice play. Hicks goes to make a play on it. Dozier with Tripp all over him. And it will go back the other way to Wilby. Here comes Hicks, gives it up to Tripp in the far corner. Hicks now gives it up to Tripp. Tripp moves to the top of the key, gives it up to Hicks. Hicks looks to go down the middle, does, and gets the runner. 5:07 to go, and the Wildcats take a 1-point lead again. Dozier goes down the middle. Gets the layup to fall, and a foul. Justin Parker picks up his second foul of the game. And an opportunity here for Kennedy to get the full 2-point lead. And he missed. Jones struggling a little bit from the line. Tripp was going completely out of control. I don't know how that wasn't a travel, but it still winds up in Hicks's hand, and that's taken away. Bounces up and in. Jones hit the ball. He's laughing as he comes up. He hits it and goes in his own basket. Here's Brown for three. That hits off the front of the rim. And Hicks is going to push it with speed. He loses control. James recovers and gets the bucket. And it's a 3-point lead now for Wilby. Jones moves in, and we've got a foul. I think that they're going to get James for that. Jonathan Mateus is going to catch that one. It'll be his first. 4:14 on the clock. A 3-point lead now for Wilby. Jones is really struggling from the line tonight. Misses another. Referees come to talk to him. I guess they're asking him to tuck in his shirt. Second shot is also no good. Matthias with the rebound. Pushes it to Tripp. Wow, what a move. Over and under. And Wilby gets to 5 on the field goal by Tripp. That was impressive. That one was telegraphed. Raekwon James gives it up to Hicks. Hicks is able to keep it in. They're going to call it timeout. Piccolo able to save this situation. Hicks was hanging on there. While he was hanging on, Piccolo called timeout. So it's a 5-point lead after fighting all the way back from 14 points down, actually taking the lead. Kennedy did. And now they found themselves down by 5 again with 3:48 to go. in the third quarter. It's been a good game here tonight in the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the George Torado Court. Mitch Beck with you, giving you the play-by-play. Antonio Coles providing the video and our engineering and, turning my brain down every now and again. That's the kind of team we are here. If he finds me bobbling with my brain, he just turns a switch and somehow it fixed. See, he was adjusting that, and that's why the word fix became fixes. But we're under control now. Raekwon James with the ball. James thought about it. Trip. Tries to go down the middle. Does. Gets the runner, and it goes. And it's back up to 7. Kennedy now in a low. Brown and Dozier playing catch. Brown goes to the hoop, throws it over. Matthias with the rebound. And after fighting all the way back, Kennedy has gone stone cold. Hicks now goes to the middle. And they're going to call a foul. I think they're going to get Brioso for his 4th. Yep. That will be the 4th on Brioso. He's definitely got to take a seat now unless Sullivan's just going to ride him out. Nope, he's going to call Lennox Serrano to get Brioso out of there with 4 fouls. He'll be sitting for quite some time now. Gio Cruz is going to check in as well. Hicks hits the first. James goes to take a seat. Brioso and his 4 fouls head to the bench. Hicks now to shoot his second with an 8-point lead. He sets himself and shoots. And that one goes off the back of the rim. And a quick turnaround the other way. Jones is going out of control, but he gets the hoop anyway. Wow. There's a 3 from Cruz, and that one goes up and over. Brown with a rebound. And coming from behind is Hicks. Will get a blocking foul before the block shot. That's going to go on Matthias. That's his second of the game. 2:50 left in the third quarter. The home Wildcats leading the visiting Eagles by 6. Brown with the first one. Sweetly puts it into the hoop. Now Brown will shoot the second. Got excellent form and buries both. It's a 4-point lead. Tripp now gets his center court, goes behind his back and gives it to Hicks. Hicks over to Cruz, back to Hicks. All alone is Tripp. Tripp gets fouled, and that's going to go. That's going to go against Jones. That's his second. Brown, Zielinski, and Jones all have 2 fouls for Kennedy. Brioso has 4. We'll give you Wilby in a second. Tripp now. He and Serrano one-on-one. Nice move to get to the hip. And Parker's shot misses as well as Tripp's fit. Nice move by Dozier on the spin. Goes all the way across, and his layup goes in and out. But there to finish it off is Davon Zielinski. Cruz back to Hicks now with 2 minutes in the third quarter. Hit that mark now. Cruz feeling 3 again, and he misses another one. But thrown under, and Parker misses it. Gets a rebound, throws it back up, and it rolls in. 1:48 to go, and a 4-point lead now. Hicks with a good play, gets to it first. And another turnover. Here comes Jones all by himself, takes the layup and puts it in. 52-50 with 1:25 on the clock. Tripp feeling it, gives it up to Cruz. Cruz goes over the top to Hicks. Hicks loses the handle and gives it up to Serrano. Serrano to Dozier. Dozier goes to the hoop, and that's going to count. That's going to go on Gio Cruz. That's his second of the game. Are they going to give him the hoop? I guess not. I guess he's going to go and shoot 2 now. Nope, not shooting at all. There's a 3, and that goes in and out. Dozier with the rebound. Throws it up at the net. Hits Tripp. Hot. Okay. And it tripped in the leg and went flying out. And they somehow called it off of Jones. 1:02 to go. And a 2-point lead for Wilby. Less than a minute now. Gio Cruz puts it back up top. Down low to Matthias. Matthias finds Tripp. Tripp makes his way to the middle. Nice jumper. And it doesn't go, but he gets the foul. That's going to go John Davis. That's his first. .46.9 on the clock. Tripp buries the first to make it a 3-point lead. Shoots the second, and it rolls off the top. And here comes Brown after the rebound by Davis. Brown gives it up to Jones. There's a 3 for Dozier. He was feeling it, hits the front of the rim. And Raekwon James comes down with a rebound. And with 30 seconds on the clock, looks to get the offense started for Wilby. Tripp pulls it up quick, and that one rolls off the rim and goes out of bounds with 23.8 to go. Alan Piccolo looking at Tripp, telling him you've got time. I'm assuming he's going to, nope, he's going to take Parker out and put Deshaun Wilson back into the game. Tripp rushed that one. You'd want to hold it for the end, eat up the clock, and he just rushed that one and turned it over. It's a 3-point lead for Wilby. Brown gets it into Serrano. Serrano's shot goes in and out. Rebounded by Dozier after it goes off of a couple of Wilby hands. And we have a foul. Dozier looks a little shaken up, a little slow to get up. Deshaun Wilson will pick up his third foul. Dozier's a little shaken up. He went down hard. 3.6 seconds on the clock. He can make this a 1-point game. Paul Williams, is actually on the court talking to Jones. That's not something you're really supposed to be doing. Dozier hits the first. It's a 2-point game now. Dozier shoots the second and makes the second. He's got outstanding form. 1 point. Matthias' shot would count, and it goes in and out. At the end of 3, we've got a great one here for you today. The Wilby Wildcats 53 and the Kennedy Eagles 52. Outstanding game today. While it might not be pretty at times, it's just been a lot of fun. These are two very evenly matched teams, and they're going after each other with everything they've got. So let's go over. I started to give you the foul situation for the Wilby Wildcats. Calvin Hicks has 2. Jeremiah Tripp has 2. Deshaun Wilson has 3. John Carlos Rivera has 2. Gio Cruz has 2. Jonathan Matias has 2. And Justin Parker has 2. So fouls are an issue for Wilby. For the Kennedy Eagles, Kyle Brown has 2. David Zielinski has 2. Sincere Dozier has 1. Shaquan Jones has 2. Aaron Brioso has 4. John Davis has 1. And that's where we stand with fouls. The home Wildcats have 5 in the second half, and the visiting Kennedy Eagles have 4. Possession arrow is favoring Kennedy, it's favoring Wilby. Jeremiah Tripp going to throw it in and does. Raekwon James now. Back to Tripp. Back to James. Kennedy playing a 2-1-2 zone. Matthias gives it back to James. He gets in trouble, pushes it up to Tripp. Tripp back to James. And James will start the offense all over again. Swung around to Gio Cruz, back to James. Kicks it over to Tripp. Tripp's thinking three and shoots. Rolls off the rim and rebounded by Zielinski. Dozier and Brown play a little catch. Pushed down low to Zielinski. Back to Dozier. He's thinking three. And there's an air ball. Mailed directly to Tripp. Tripp comes with speed, gives it up. Gio Cruz, another long three. That one hits the rim, goes over the backboard, and will go to the Kennedy Eagles. 53-52 with 7:03 left. This one is just screaming out overtime. But we'll see. Kennedy fought back from a 14-point deficit in the second. Zielinski pulls up for three. That's short. And Tripp is there again. Goes to the middle, kicks it out. Matthias pulls up for three. That one hits the back of the rim. Gets his own rebound, kicks it to Cruz for three. That goes in and out. Matthias again with the rebound, goes off the glass. And another rebound. Zielinski again with a big play. And Raekwon James is able to keep it. Swung out to Cruz. Back up top to Tripp. Excellent rebounding from Wilby. Kennedy unable to get control of it. And Raekwon James will set it up with a little over 6 minutes to go. James, I thought that he moved his feet, and they're going to call that. He must have heard me. 6:07 left on the clock. 53-52 still the score. Cruz goes and takes a seat. Hicks is back in the game. Brown now gives it up to Jones. Jones goes hard, is able to recover the ball, swings hard and has that shot blocked. Dozier, and his shot is no good. Kicked in, Brown goes quickly to Jones, goes off the glass and in, and Kennedy takes a 1-point lead, and we have a timeout called. Looks to me like Ryan Sullivan has decided to slow things down. From 14 down to 1 point up. It's been an up and down battle for Kennedy. They've had moments where they were in total control of the game, and then other moments where they just couldn't find the bucket, with a rain barrel or rainstorm. I guess, is that what I was looking for? Couldn't get a bucket with the rain. There you go. And conversely, Alan Piccolo, his Wildcats have looked unbelievable at times and then just forced too many shots. And as a result, that's why we stand the way we are. Antonio Cole's our engineer here, working on my brain currently, trying to tighten some of the loose nuts and bolts up in there. And there are many loose ones. When you hit this age, you're lucky if you can spell nuts and bolts. And here we go. Raekwon James brings the ball into the forecourt. It's a 2-1-2 defense. Hicks gets it up to James. James takes it down, kicks it out to Tripp. Tripp now throws it across the top to Hicks. Hicks goes to the middle, whips a shot at the boards. It doesn't go. And Dozier now, he's now rushing, and he throws it wildly at the boards. Brown now, he throws up a three and hits it. It's a 4-point lead now for Kennedy. Their biggest of the game. Tripp up top, thrown down low and turned over again. Brown now, he has Hicks come from behind. Hicks slides after stealing the ball from Brown. It goes out of bounds. Justin Parker is going to come back into the game. Deshaun Wilson goes to sit down. And Kennedy catches a break when Calvin Hicks couldn't catch a break. Just slid. There's a shot from Brown. That's no good. Raekwon James with the rebound. Pushes it up to Mateus. His layup is good. And it's back to a 2-point game. Brown now. Dozier looks for help in the corner. Zielinski for three. That one rolls over the rim, but there's Jones. And his shot is no good. Raekwon James now makes it into the forecourt. Comes a little bit quick out of speed and overdoes it on the backboard. Here comes Brown on a 2-on-1 with Zielinski, and his layup is good. 4-point lead now for Kennedy with 4:03 on the clock. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are bringing it to you here at DET Sports Media. Tripp tries to get it down low to Davis. Parker, excuse me. Gets it to Mateus, and he gets fouled. On John Davis, that's his second. Mateus will shoot the free throw. Can make it a 3-point game here. Trying to catch his breath a little bit. Sets and shoots. And misses the free throw. 3:50 on the clock. Mateus will get his second one here. And makes that one nicely. Makes it a 3-point game. Kennedy now taking their time. The clock is their friend right now. Let's see if they're smart enough to use it. Kicked out to Jones. Brown tries to go to the middle, dishes, and turns it over. Here comes Hicks. Misses the layup. Brown now with a quick 2-on-1. He pulls up, hits the rim. Coming back with Parker the other way. Tripp now gets the 3-point line, pulls it up, no good. Rebounded by Parker, and that one's blocked, but he gets fouled. That's Jonathan Davis, or Janarius Davis. That's his third of the game. Parker shoots the first, kind of forced that one. Goes off the back of the rim. Mateus will take a break. And Wilson comes back in. Parker sets himself for the second shot, kind of hucks it at the net, and it goes in. It's a 2-point game with 3 minutes and 14 seconds and counting. Dozier. He and Brown playing a little catch. Pass down low to Jones. He goes hard to the glass and buries it to get it back to 4 with under 3 minutes to go. Raekwon James to Tripp. Tripp is thinking going all the way across. He throws it across to Hicks, and it goes out of bounds. And a turnover. Wilby getting into the forcing plays business, and now is not the time to do that. You need good shots. Dozier gets the center line. Thought they were going to call timeout. He goes off the glass, and it goes in. Sullivan wanted the timeout, didn't get it. And Dozier read it and buried a shot to make it a 6-point game with 2:35 to go. You don't see that every day. Everybody stopped because they thought it was a timeout, and it wasn't. And the only one apparently on the floor who knew it wasn't was Dozier. And he goes and makes a shot. And then Ryan Sullivan was practically in the referee's kitchen telling him he wanted a timeout. So glad to have you here on a Tuesday night here at the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School, the George Torado Court, for this exciting Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball game that we're happy to bring you on Waterbury Cable 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Mitch Beck with you here tonight. Antonio Coles as well, bringing you all the sounds and the sights. Wildcats fans getting a little raucous now. And Jeremiah Tripp gives it back. Raekwon James. Cruz back to James. Looks for Hicks and gets him. Back to James. They swing it across the top. Cruz back to James. They look for Tripp in the middle. There's a three from Cruz. That's short. An ill-advised shot from Cruz. And it winds up in Jones's hands. He dumps it off quickly and nicely. And into the basket. Zielinski puts the ball. That was my Yoda type call on that basket. It's an 8-point lead. How did Hicks get from that without dribbling? But he makes the bucket. No call on that. 6-point difference with 1:42 to go. Kicked out to Jones. They should kill time here. Play catch. Jones now gives it up. Dozier with the easy bucket. 8 points with 1:23 to go. Hicks, and he gets fouled. Good sportsmanship there. Jaquan Jones, that's his third. Picks up Hicks after knocking him down. 1:20 to go. Hicks will shoot 1 and 1. Kennedy is now in the penalty. What's interesting to me is Brioso hasn't been back in the game since he's got 4 fouls. He could still be playing. He's not. Hicks now shoots the first of the one-on-one, misses it, and Brown with the rebound, and he's fouled. Hicks just looks up and covers his face, frustrated that he missed the shot. That will go on Hicks. That's his third foul. 1:17 on the clock. Dozier and Hicks. Dozier brings it into the forecourt. They should kill time here. They're smart. And there's a foul. Call goes to number 22, Raekwon James, his first of the game. Dozier will go. He misses the first with 1:07 to go. Parker goes and takes a seat. Cruz comes in. It's 9 points now. Gets the first, I should have said. Gets the second as well. And it's a 10-point lead with 1:07 to go. They're going to need some threes in a hurry. Jeremiah Tripp gives it to James. Kicked out for three to Hicks. And he makes it. And a good play. Ryan Sullivan goes to the timeout again. Nice shot by Hicks. They're going to need a couple more of those. 7 points is the margin with 56 seconds exactly on the big clock here on the campus of Wilby High School. We told you it'd be a good game, and it has been that. Seesaw affair, as they like to say, Antonio. Back and forth. This is the biggest lead. Actually, 9 is the, I'm sorry, again, 10 was the biggest lead for Kennedy. That's down to 7. Biggest lead of the game for Wilby was 14. And it's been quite a swing. Kennedy has outscored him by 24 since that 14-point lead. So Kennedy is going to need to make some free throws. You would expect with the full court pressure on here that they're going to foul quickly. So you want to make sure you get the ball in the hands of your best free throw shooter. Zielinski's going to toss it in. Brown is out there, as is Dozier. Davis and Jones, they get it in. Dozier gets fouled. And he will go shoot free throws. That's going to go on 22. That's Raekwon James. That's his second. And Dozier will go to the line. He can make it a 9-point game if he can hit both of these. Looks like it's 1-1. Makes the first. Really like his technique. 8 points now. He can make it a 3-possession game. His shot buries it. And it's a 3-possession game, 9 points with under 50 seconds to go. Raekwon James to Jeremiah Tripp into the corner to Hicks. That should have been a walk and it wasn't called. And that alley-oop doesn't go, but he gets fouled. That's going to go on Zielinski. That's his third foul. 41.2 up on the clock. Tripp will shoot 2. If you're Kennedy, I'll take the 2. And he doesn't make one. So you got a 9-point lead, 41.2 to go. He shoots the second and misses the second. Rebounded and quickly fouled. Janarius Davis is fouled and will go and shoot free throws. That's the 9th team foul. And it's called on Jonathan Mateus. That's his third. If he makes the 1-and-1, let's see how he does. And that one will count, I believe. Or was it a lane violation? They gave him the bucket. They called a foul. I don't know how they could call that. They called it on 25, but there is no 25 on Wilby. So I don't know who that was on. And is Parker on there? No, Parker's not on there. He's 35. So it's an 11-point lead. I guess they called a foul. Oh, I guess they called it the other way. That was on Zielinski. That's his 4th. And now Tripp will shoot. So it's an 11-point lead, the largest of the game for Kennedy, with 39.4 left, and Tripp will shoot some free throws for 1-and-1. That one's short and rounded it out, rebounded out to Dozier. Dozier smartly holds on to it. Dozier moves around, and they're pretty much going to let this game come to a close And Brown will just hold it. Not going to shoot. Show some class. Ryan Sullivan calling it off, saying you don't need to run up the score. Wilby's already walking off the court. And our final score is going to be 73-62. A incredible come-from-behind victory for the Kennedy Eagles as they come back from 14 down to win by 11. So we want to thank you for joining us here at the Reggie O'Brien Gymnasium on the campus of Wilby High School. Mitch Beck with you, along with Antonio Coles, for this DETSportsMedia.com presentation of Naugatuck Valley League Brass Division Boys Varsity Basketball, seen exclusively on Waterbury Cable Channel 16 and, of course, on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, our final score, Kennedy Eagles 73, Wilby Wildcats 62. Good night, everybody.